as well.
He's a funny guy.
I'm speechless.
Sometimes
3
it
minutes
doesn't
ago.
go well,
Please
and
lock
we
in.
Get some free kills sometimes.
Sometimes
but
08 happens.
yeah, whatever. I know he's gonna get me back in the game again. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm really happy with playing with
All
this
right.
team.
That being said,
In
I
Nero,
think,
the players
Kangas
play what they
does
want to
have
play, and Nero's
Blaber,
missing
for
smite on 99% of objectives or throwing winnable games. It's not even the problem.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Blaber, for coming on.
Although, yeah,
Blaber
Blaber does
interviews right
quite a
after
lot-
such
quite a
close
lot, yeah.
series, and I want to start off just getting your initial
I
reaction.
wonder how Blaber
after
even
such a close
transitions.
game
I don't
five
think
and such
he
a close best
does. He
of
go to
five.
another team if he
mean,
gets through. I don't think he will because he has like
definitely
tenure at
things progress
C9 pretty
forward.
much. So like,
Not the
how does he
loss.
transition? Does he
I
does he
think-
retire? That would be
Yeah.
crazy, by the
I
way.
don't know.
How old is Blaber?
just
Isn't Blaber like 20?
got caught in
He's
game
young,
five
no? Yeah,
we
he
lost
just
10.
turned 25.
Keeps
Fuck.
happening, so yeah, it just sucks.
It can be tough when that is a big moment in the game, and I want to give you a chance to reflect on your
Oh,
journey
fuck.
as a player so far,
Speaking of
especially
Blaber.
this year. I mean, C9 has been in that conversation. FlyQuest C9 have kind of been the argument. So how do you feel about your journey so far and how you've played throughout the year as a whole?
I mean, I felt like we were improving a lot as a team throughout the split. I think we were getting to a place where we were pretty good. I would say that I felt like we were the best team at some point. Even now, I feel like we could beat any of the teams, but
Not in scrims. Not in scrims. Absolutely not. What's going on there?
players take
That's
us up
weird.
on stage,
I
especially
mean, then
back
again,
then,
I've
and
only watched the last
cost
few
us a lot
weeks,
of
but
games. I also think we weren't like playing a lot of situations super well as a team in general. I feel like we play a lot better in scrims than on stage, and I'm not sure why, but I do think that we
because
can
scrims are
improve a
totally
lot
different
throughout the year.
environment. Everyone's playing different in what?
Yeah, well, there's one thing that you mentioned there, and that's that you feel like you're
That's so weird. That's so weird. Especially because the scrims are so fucking
surprised. So I wanna get
chaotic,
your thoughts
and
on
people are like
overall
trying
strength
things,
of the
and
region,
people are like
'cause it's no longer
trying.
just
I
the
mean,
C9 Fly,
so
Shopify, Hunter
weird.
Thieves putting their names in that conversation. So what do you think about LTA North and the strength
You
of the
should be
region right
better
now?
on stage
I
than
think that the teams
scrims, in theory.
are all pretty strong in LTA North. I do think Fly is the best. So I think that, yeah, all of them will do well.
Okay, all right. Well, happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Any final message for any of the C9 fans out there, as this is the last time that they'll be cheering you on this year?
No, just sorry to them. It's not really acceptable to miss Worlds twice, 2 years in a row. So, yeah, apologies.
Feel really bad
All right,
for
well, thank
Blaber.
you, Blaber, for coming on and chatting with us.
I think so. A lot of people do flame him. Okay, yes, he does fucking int. He legitimately doesn't. He legitimately doesn't. But he is also one of the smarter LoL players. And I know that sounds fucking weird because he does int. And I think his int is, I believed, and I didn't get to do this prior to me leaving C9. And after I left, I know Max didn't get to do it either. I believe that Blaber has some sort of like, and this was just from, you know, talking to him, being with him for like a couple of months, whatever, seeing him play, seeing what would happen in those moments. I think he has like these anxiety lapses. That's my hypothesis. And that's just never addressed. C9 has a psychologist that works for them or something, but the issue with that person is that person works for C9, not for the players. And that is I think, very disturbing. I think it's extremely disturbing for a lot of reasons. You know, you can make of that what you will. So they do have like a psychologist and stuff, but I think Max said it on stream, or like he like joked about like some of the stuff. It's like very. I don't know how much the guy practices psychotherapy or I don't know. Anyways, I think that's what some of the Blaber stuff is. And then also with a lot of the stuff that Riot has done to jungling, the things that Blaber was really good at that gave him edges over other junglers got harder to do. And so now, unless you're like a fucking robot, like Inspired, fucking you play literally every type of champion, every single type of champion to a carry potential level. And you just have such immense game knowledge. And despite however raged or tilted you are, you can still make the same decisions, like almost like a robot, which I think is it's a crazy fucking skill that he has. I think like unless you're doing that, it's very difficult to accumulate edges consistently anyway, right? It's not like Blaber can't accumulate edges. I mean, Blaber is very good. Like, he's very, very good. And also, he does this while also playing significantly less than most players. And that is something that I would blame Blaber on. So there's that. Yeah, he just doesn't play a whole lot. Would be nice to watch Blaber win a single smite. He's been terrible in smite fights all year long. The funny thing about smites, too, is that they're not luck either. Because if you're seeing the HP or the speed at which the objective is going down, and then your subconscious is also processing abilities from surrounding champions and, like, whatever, your... The rate at which your eyes process what's on the screen and then you pressing the button, there's a visual to brain delay. Forget what the MS actually is. Whatever you're seeing in real time, so there's a way to see this too. Whatever you're currently seeing in real time with your eyes is not actually what's there. And most people don't realize that because there's a visual to brain delay. And one of the ways that you can actually see this in real time is without, look away, open the clock on your computer at the bottom right, and then look at the so if it has like the ticking seconds, if it has like, I don't know how the fuck to do this. If it has the ticking seconds, you can look at the second, and you'll notice that the first second that changes, or like the first fucking analog whatever thing that changes or whatever, is going to be the longest one. That's one interesting way to see it. I think there's another interesting way to see it. Yeah. And then also, we also know that some people process things on the screen at different speeds, right? That's what the human benchmark thing is, where certain people have different reaction speeds. They're able to have faster processing speeds with the peripherals and other stuff. So smites are actually not luck. In theory, someone could have a 100% success rate on smites. In theory. Like, yeah, I think that would be fucking inhuman, but yeah. I don't know how we went from clearly a top 2 team. Okay, need to drop Sven and Vulcan. Blaber is past his prime. Feel bad for Thanatos. Thanatos is really good. Loki is not good. Loki is absolutely not good. One of the worst import decisions that they've had. Even if you look at NA mids right now, like Loki is, where even is Loki in terms of mid laner skill? Where actually is Loki? Okay. He's better than Palafox. Okay, he's better than Keeney. Okay, he's better than Keeney. Worse than Quad. Worse than Saint. Worse than Quid. I know people aren't gonna like it, but he's worse than APA. And I think that has to do with a lot of people don't realize what goes on inside of Team Liquid. I really do hope that there's a behind-the-scenes type thing that goes on, especially in games, because I think what's happening to APA in some of the games is he's getting blamed the same way Nemesis was blamed on Fnatic, where he would do things that was just being called for, and he just wouldn't object even if he disagreed, and he would do it anyway, and then he would fucking lock people probably know what I'm referring to with like the Galio stuff, or like whatever. So I think stuff like that is going on. But also people will fucking completely forget that APA and Yun were literally the two people carrying them at international stuff, and APA just he had some really rough patches. Although, yes, his last series, his Annie, is literally on Drew Levin's list. Darkwings, I don't know. I don't know where I would put him compared to Loki. And then there's that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So that's that. Yeah, Loki is not import level. So I do wonder what's going to end up happening. You know what? Honestly, fuck. Fucking hell. So I wonder if Blaber does get removed, I wonder if that makes way for Griffin. I wonder if Griffin goes to C9. Although obviously I would... So it's like kind of weird. I mean, I would probably say to Griffin the same stuff Max would say to him and like others would say to him. It's like, it's kind of... Actually, no, maybe Griffin would get depressed. Honestly, maybe he would. Maybe he wouldn't, though. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't affect Griffin. Because... I'm not sure. Maybe Griffin ends up on C9 if somehow Blaber was removed. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Sven and Vulcan, how can you upgrade 80s? I don't think Sven is actually, like, the problem. I think C9 has so many fucking problems, obviously. Yep. Let's see what the C9 subreddit says. The draft. Okay, so we picked full engage. We picked full engage, but have no one we can actually engage on, so we never pull the trigger. And our counter engage. What? That's functional fixedness. You're not full engaged just because the champions traditionally engage. That's not how that works. These champions can also be used defensively. Galio historically and mostly is a defensive champion, right? Orianna is both a amplifier for engage, but she can also be very zone control and very safe. She can protect champions, right? Which historically was her main purpose for several years. Nautilus, yes, he is an engaged champion, but he's also a really good peeler. Corki historically was a kiting type AD carry, that was very safe because of his Valkyrie and like other stuff. 0 damage, and Blaber and Loki have massive... What the fuck do you mean 0 damage? The enemy team has 3 squishies that don't build resists, and then a Rumble that either builds full pen or he builds HP. And then you have Corki in... Like, what? True. True, Detective Costellos. True. Alright. Fucking hell. Hire 12 more coaches, do 9 more yoga. Oh yeah, that honestly that might be next. Who knows? 6 more meetings? Yes. Yes. Let's make some of them at 8 a.m. too. And then let's do nothing for a few hours. Yes. Let's do nothing. Yep. Yep, let's do add a couple more media days. I like that. Content necessary, true. Let's do a couple more things. 4 no more remakes, true. Also, I saw the Dom clip on it where he said that so I both agree and disagree with Dom. Because you can view it both ways. If you're trying to get the best practice, then you should be pragmatic about a remake in some cases. Yes, you can acknowledge, like, hey, we got these fucking advantages. I would like to play out this game from this point. That is totally true. But I think that you can also be pragmatic about it in regards to how, are you really getting practice with this? Like, to what degree is the advantage? Is the game really just over? And if the game really is just over, to what length do you need to practice it? To what degree are you trying to practice it? Are you only really practicing for 8 or 9 minutes? You know what I mean? And then beyond that, the game is just such a